One thing that's always certain with Heroes is its scale and size.
This is a show that needs to be big. The effects have to be big.
The ambition and scale of Heroes could kill us all. It's just gigantic.
Right now, I'm pretty sure that we are the biggest show on television.
This show has to deal in wonder.
There aren't many series that come bigger than Heroes.
I would say this show is one of the most ambitious I've ever seen, let alone been a part of. It's just massive.
Okay, then she goes, you get up.
Tim Kring had a very ambitious vision of what he wanted to do on TV. And he wanted to have a show that felt like a feature every week.
We jump time, we have special effects, different abilities, different people. I mean, there's such large things happening in our show at all times. It's just a massive, massive creation.
Those elements mean that it is going to be challenging to film your show on the average TV schedule and for the average TV budget.
Let's go camera right, please. In the season premiere, we spent a lot of time in a closet with Matt and Peter morphs into future Peter, and Matt gets zapped into another dimension. Cut! Let's go with the hand up a little higher. 4.5 hours in a closet with two guys. On another show, you'd be an hour and a half and done, you know? We're out of here, you know? That took a lot of time because we used green screen, where they tried to read each other's minds, which calls for another set of lenses. So those shots that make the show what it is are time-consuming.
But we don't really have a home base. We're not a lawyer show. We're not a cop show. We're not a hospital doctor show. Our people travel. They go to different countries. We don't ever leave Los Angeles. So when you go to Japan, when you go to India, when you go to New York, all those things are things that we're making up.
We have more locations, more sets. I think we have like 7 stages full of scenery. And we're constantly putting sets up and taking them down. We're making a movie every week. We're making a movie every episode.
Nobody ever says, oh, let's throw out that sequence because the effects are too complicated. It's always the challenge of, we want it to be great, we want it to be fantastic, we want it to wow the audience, and we're not cutting it. Go figure out how to do it.
And that's certainly the case with the bank raid, which is one of the most ambitious scenes to date.
Whenever we get the chance, we try to introduce a situation that people are familiar with and people who watch television are familiar with. In this case, it's a bank robbery. Everyone's seen a bank robbery on television.
Light it up.
Because it's Heroes, this is a bank robbery where the bad guys have superpowers and where the good guy is stuck in the body of one of the bad guys and he has no idea what his power is. So, you know, it's really fun to tell the audience, you've seen this story before, here's how we do it Tim Kring style.
Part of the success of that was finding that location. It really looks like a 70s bank. You know, it has a great ceiling, which is important to us because we always show the ceilings. It was closed, so we didn't have to go into a bank that was working, and it was big enough to work in.
It was absolutely empty, and it was old and filthy, and we brought in all those desks, all those chairs. And for me, it was really, really fun in that, again, using graphics as a way to bring a set to life. Lots of big, bold yellow signs kind of punch and bring that very brown room to life.
A big problem is also vaults, and they rarely look like what you see in the movies. We all think of that big knob that turns. Well, they don't have that anymore. They're just blank pieces of metal with a button on them, you know. So we had to take the wall that was there, the bank vault door, and add a mechanism onto it.
Is this open?
So we'll come into a location and heroize it, you know, and change it.
Most bank robberies, you stage, the bad guys come into the bank and they shoot a gun up in the air and they say, this is a bank robbery.
Everyone on the ground now!
Not these guys, no. When they yell, this is a bank robbery, they're shooting fireballs across the bank.
We set up shop in a bank with a plan in mind, because that's a strategy to actually get people from level 5, HRG, and everyone to come over to the bank so that we can basically kill them.
Every single camera move, every bit of effects, everything has to be plotted so carefully.
The big challenge in the bank sequence was that we had so many superpowers in one place at one time, and we had 4 days to shoot it.
All the blinds slammed shut, so we did that mechanically. We rigged all the existing blinds that were in this real bank to close mechanically. We have wind effects. Anytime that he shoots a fireball, we just want a little wind draft to happen along with that.
The Knox effect of super hulkish powers